Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Karina Utwani, Creative Manager at Hex. And in today's video, we will be discussing about WhatsApp Business API, its real-world use cases, its limitations, and how SMS Failover still plays a crucial role. So joining me today is Priyanshu, Business Account Manager at Hex, who shares a deep knowledge in CPaaS and has hands-on experience in A2B messaging. So Priyanshu, can you quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Karina, for hosting me. I have started my journey over here as an technical support executive. I come from an engineering background, and over the years, I have dealt with enterprise-grade clients whom I have helped out them to their daily operation needs as well as helped them with their business use cases. One thing was common between my role of business account manager as well as tech support executive, that we were trying to introduce something that their brands could connect better with their customers. What I mean over here is that they are searching for a better communication channel. Now, if we talk about that, SMS has already been a giant and well-established channel to the market. But if we check the current trends, that WhatsApp has been the most emerging one, right? So for that, at Powers MVP, we have introduced our dedicated WhatsApp channel as well, which help our customers to onboard their users. They can provide WhatsApp as well as SMS, both under the same channel. Now, what connects me to my customers is that the business we are in, right? Each and every OTP message that delivers, they help the customers to connect and log into the applications. Now, when you are handling an infrastructure that handles millions of messages daily, that's something really good. That's something what I feel that I'm well entitled to, and I feel very great that I'm the one part of that infrastructure.
Okay, so Priyanshu, for someone just tuning in, what exactly is WhatsApp Business API and how is it different from someone using it on their phone?
So when someone uses WhatsApp on their personal phone, it's like a private channel. You have one-to-one communication, your reach is limited, and you have that limitation on your end. But now just imagine you are a business, you want to send 10,000 OTP in 1 hour. Or for example, you are a logistics company and you want to send real-time updates to your customers. So in that case, the WhatsApp Business API solves that gap. Talking about how that gap is solved, so WhatsApp provides business APIs that can be easily integrated into your third-party system. It provides a complete ecosystem where you can send messages, you can receive the DLR updates, you can have a chatbot integrated, you can have flow bots made around that, and you can have a two-way communication which is very effective. Now, when we scale it up to a large business, for example, if your company wants to send around 10,000 messages in one particular hour, then you can use the WhatsApp Business APIs. Talking about in a layman language, it is very simple. What personal WhatsApp is just like you're driving a car on the highway. But when we talk about WhatsApp Business APIs, it's like driving complete logistics company. The road stays the same, but the architecture it differentiates.
Well, that was a great insight. So, coming on to next, who are the key players in the ecosystem? Meta, BSPs, aggregators, enterprise clients. Well, how does that chain work?
Yeah. So this is where things get really confusing, and let us just discuss on how things really work in that particular ecosystem. If I talk, then Meta is the real owner of the complete ecosystem, and it drives the approvals, it drives the message delivery, and it also controls the APIs. Now, there are basically two models on how the complete market works. If we talk about that, then the first option over here is business solution provider, which is also known as BSPs. Now, BSPs are situated at such a level that they themselves take responsibility of the template approval and all of the support concerns raised by their customers. And here at Powers MPP, we work with a much streamlined model, which is the technology solution provider, also known as TSP models. Talking about that, TSP is very simple. Meta is directly integrated with the TSP and the aggregator clients, which we call it as a brands. They are directly connected to a TSP. So at Powers MPP, we help our customers, our aggregators onboard with us as a TSP. We provide the architecture, and our expertise solution team, onboarding team, they help our aggregators become a TSP. So that is how this complete architecture works.
Okay, so according to you, which industry has found the most value in WhatsApp Business API, and what does a real deployment look like?
There are multiple industries engaged in WhatsApp communication with their customers, but the BFSI, right? The BFSI sector that amazed me a lot because it's not just the volume, it's the number of transactions along with the nature of the transactions. Now we talk about something like if a bank is a financial technology company, they are sending OTPs, they are sending transactional alerts someone. So that is very critical. It needs to be delivered to the client, that also on the time. So yes, BFSI is something which is currently engaging the most along with the volume and along with the criticality of the traffic. Talking about the onboarding, a client is onboarded for sending WhatsApp messages, and it is also very simple. They just require the Facebook account and a WABA account that can be created with us. After that, the process is very simple. A mobile number is provisioned, and all of the approvals that business approvals and template approvals that are being processed from Meta. We can do this beforehand, and when we launch our brand, we can use that particular pre-approved templates and pre-approved number to send messages. Now, one thing which is very good over here is that you can also opt for green tick, right? That green tick provides a sort of ownership for your brand and trust in your customers that having a conversation with a real company.
Okay, so what about transactional messages like OTPs, order updates, alerts? Similarly, how does WhatsApp compare with SMS on the part of reliability?
Yes, so talking about transactional messages such as OTPs, which are very sensitive to time and sensitive to information. In that case, WhatsApp usually achieves around 90% of open rate, but WhatsApp also has a dependency of internet. If you know that WhatsApp operates over internet layer, so if a customer is not available on WhatsApp, or for example, they have the internet disconnected, they are traveling somewhere, then in that case the user won't be able to use that application because he won't be able to receive OTP on WhatsApp. So this is where our savior comes, the traditional SMS. SMS operates over network layer, so that benefits our customers when they say in network. This transaction OTP messages, they are for sure going to get delivered via SMS. So this is one thing which we have developed in PowerSimple, which is also known as SMS Failover. It is developed for such customers such as fintech and BFSI customers which want the reliability of WhatsApp as well as the 100 almost 99% of open rate or delivered rate. So in any event a message is rejected by WhatsApp, the PowerSimple application that automatically routes it to SMS routes, so that the end customer, they are very sure to receive the OTP or transactional messages.
Well, this brings us to failover. Like, why can't brands completely rely just on WhatsApp? What's the core problem SMS failover solves?
Yes, so to be honest, WhatsApp is a really great channel of sending messages, having conversations. But if we talk about dependencies, then there are multiple dependencies. Starting with the app installation, then they also need to have internet access. Then there's Meta's own infrastructure that takes the lead. So any point of contact, any failure occurs over here, your messages are not going to land on the customers. Now, if there's a promotional campaign, then there's no big deal. We can resend it tomorrow once the issue is resolved. But if we're talking about OTPs, if we're talking about customer engagement things over here, then for sure the stakes are very different. Now, for example, if an OTP doesn't land on WhatsApp for the customer, then he won't be able to log in. If there is a payment confirmation, then the end customer might reach out to a support lines for the confirmation, or in worst case they may also do a duplicate transaction. If we talk about an appointment reminder, if it gets skipped, then the end customer, they might be a no show for you. So this is where the reliability and the rate of delivery that really matters. We at PowerSim BP, we have deployed such an architecture where if the WhatsApp message doesn't get confirmed, it doesn't get delivered, or if it gets rejected by some sort of reason within a particular threshold limit, then we can automatically route it through SMS. What this does, that your customer can have that information on their end. And why SMS? Because SMS is universally present. There is no such dependency except network. that would require for SMS to reach on your handset. And that is why when we are talking about redundant solution, that is where in that picture the SMS fallback mechanism comes in place.
Okay, so Priyanshu, can you walk us through how the failover mechanism actually works? When the WhatsApp messages fail, what triggers the switch to SMS and how fast does this happen?
So that's some real good engineering over here. Let me just break it down technically for you. What we do over here is that once you send WhatsApp messages, right, it is sent via an API, and that API is hit at meta end. Now we wait for the response of this API. Once we receive the response, we are checking for the delivery status for that message. For example, if it is delivered, then there is no need for a fallback. But if it is rejected by a particular error code, right, for example, healthy ecosystem or payment method issue, such like that, then we have a fallback mechanism configured on the backend that sends messages. Now, for example, if you're talking about OTP message, over here time criticality is very important, right? So our mechanism is such that we wait for a threshold limit, right? For example, you can configure the threshold for 30 seconds. In that 30 seconds, what we do is that we wait for the delivery status from the meta, from the partner. If we receive within 30 seconds, then our API, backend APIs and backend mechanism, they start to process that WhatsApp message into SMS, and then it is routed via SMS gateway from the application. So if I summarize this complete process, then within 30 seconds, this complete handshake can be taken care of, and it's just that a WhatsApp message is sent. We are waiting for the delivery response. Once the delivery response is done, once we get an error code, our fallback mechanism takes over, and then the message is sent via SMS. So this is how the complete scenario works.
Okay, so Priyanshu, can you share a real life example where a failover mechanism actually saved a critical message, like an OTP that had to go through no matter what?
Yes, so this is really a good question, and I would like to answer that yes, it would. I can explain that why failure isn't an option, but it is a basic requirement in today's technological world. So talking about example, we have a fintech customer. They are basically money lending platform that provide loans to the that disburse loan to the to the customers. So they have a flow where the final OTP of loan disbursement that is sent via WhatsApp on their end. Now why WhatsApp? Because they have determined that most of the user base, right, they are present over WhatsApp. They are actively using smartphones, and the internet connectivity is well established in the region. So they are choosing WhatsApp. Now they had a certain outage in their end where the network internet connectivity that was affected for a certain network of a certain region for almost 30 or 45 minutes. Now in that case, their user base was heavily affected. Why? Because the loan confirmation OTP which is sent via WhatsApp, that was not being received by the customers because of that outage, and due to that they were receiving a lot of support requests. This was affected because the loan disbursement program, that complete flow, that was disrupted due to this outage. How we solved it is that we offered them with this SMS Failover option. So the setup was also very basic. It took only 10 minutes with the complete configuration and testing. Right now, in an event where their WhatsApp messages they doesn't get delivered or fail, the SMS Failover takes over, and it makes sure that the end customer receives the final OTP, their loan gets dispersed, and the support team, right, the customer support team, they also doesn't get overwhelmed with this particular situations. So oh yes, for that, this SMS Failover, that was a real lifesaver in their business requirement.
Okay, so if a business came to you today and said that we are 100% on SMS, should we move to WhatsApp? What would be your honest answer?
Yeah, so for that, my honest answer will be don't shift to WhatsApp, but instead move to WhatsApp. Now, why I am saying this, like, because there is certain reasons why we should add WhatsApp to our strategy, and instead of directly shifting towards WhatsApp, only WhatsApp. That is what I mean. Now, you should consider some critical factors while deciding this particular strategy. Factors that are such as how your audience treats. Now, for example, if your audience are in a rural region, if they are having some older demographics, then they might not have access to WhatsApp, internet, or smartphone. Then in that scenario, you would be requiring SMS failover also. So let us just build a strategy around our messaging services. Instead of shifting completely towards WhatsApp, we can add the reliability of what SMS, and then we can have the advancement of WhatsApp in that, because I also totally understand and I'm aligned with that value that WhatsApp adds a more better user experience. It adds a richer quality such as images, documents, and many more things. Also, one critical misinformation that is that WhatsApp also has chatbots, and you can have a two-way communication with your end customer. So that is some real life engagement that is limited to SMS. But yes, SMS is reliable because at end of the day, if your WhatsApp messages get rejected due to unavailability of internet or something unavailability of app on the user end, in that case WhatsApp SMS will save your day, and SMS will get delivered the message on the user's handset. So yes, not only shift towards WhatsApp but add WhatsApp to your portfolio. SMS and WhatsApp together can bring real life changes in your business strategy for messaging.
Well, before we wrap up, if someone listening this today has to take one thing from this conversation, whether they are a developer, a business decision maker, or someone just exploring this space for the first time, well, what would that one thing be?
Yes. So if we zoom out to the complete scenario, right, then each and every message is a moment of contact with a real person. And we should get that right at a scale when you are building trust. It's not just traffic. And talking about that, we should take our messaging stack very seriously because our brand relies on that. And to close it, I would like to say that this is exactly the whole space about me, and honestly, it's what gets me excited to come to work every day.
Well, I do agree on that. Messaging is not just a business, it's like a responsibility. Thank you so much, Priyanshu, for sharing your valuable insights with us.
Thank you, Karina, for having me. It has been a really great conversation.